Hey, Cameron here. Welcome back to the Busy Gardener channel. It is that time of year where the plants are just about to wake up and we need to get them fertilized. Let's get busy. There are three main times a year that you want to fertilize your trees. One is at the end of January, the second time is the beginning of April, and the third time is the end of June. Because of rain, I missed the end of January. It's now the second week of February. Thankfully it's been really cold, so the trees haven't all woken up. We're having a normal winter here in Southern California instead of the really warm winters we've had the last couple of years. And so what I'm gonna do is walk through a couple of the things that I'm doing fast on fertilizing, and then I'm just gonna run around and fertilize, and as I see things, I'll call them out. As you've done this a while, it's kind of fun. There are three things that are needed in terms of fertilizing. One, you need the fertilizer itself, which I put into this 5-gallon bucket. It's made by Grow Power. It's 3-12-12. That means the NPK, the nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus content, well, in the reverse order, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, NPK, are 3-12-12, so it's very low nitrogen, which is going to keep the vigor down, but is high in potassium and phosphorus, and that's going to help the roots grow, and it really supports flowering. So that Grow Power, Flower and Bloom, hey, really fun. Somebody from Grow Power commented on one of my videos. That was so neat. I love you guys. Keep up the good work. So the other thing that I use, you need some sort of way to measure it. I've taken these little measuring things and written on there how many tablespoon equivalent it is so I can do the calculation. And because I've got a large orchard and a bunch of trees, I like doing the spreader. You can do it by hand, just kind of spreading it out, but I like it to be as even as possible, so I use that spreader to really get it to broadcast across where all the roots are. Grow Power recommends that you do 2 tablespoons for every foot of tree size. And so I'm looking at either height or width. So if you've got a very squat tree, but it's 5 feet across, you're gonna count that. If it's kind of skinnier and 5 feet up. Okay, so I've got these 3 fig trees. This one got damaged by some tree trimmers. A tree branch fell down. So I'm gonna replant this tree with another one back up that I've got over there. This poor Cadota fig. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna estimate. So this is about, let's see, about 4 foot of tree here, 5 foot of tree here is 9 feet plus another eventual 3 feet of tree. So what did I say, 4 and 5? So 9 and 3, 12. So I need 24 total tablespoons of fertilizer. This is 8, so 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. And now on to the rest. Whoa! Evan, what do we want them to do if they like this channel?
Subscribe.
And if they want to get updates?
Ring the bell.
Hey, right on! We did the oranges, the apples, the figs, the nectarines, the peaches, the Asian pear. Now we're on to the cherry, the avocado, the other apple, the jujube. Now you may have noticed that I dropped this thing for those individual trees. To recap, this is helpful when you've got a number of trees and you wanted to get it all the way around them. This is helpful when you're dealing with just a single tree, and it's especially when it's small because then you're right next to it. You want to be spreading this about 6 inches away from the trunk and inside the drip line, out to the drip line, okay? And the drip line is where the canopy ends, and that's roughly where the roots usually go. So as you're going out there, you want to make sure it's spread around, not right next to the trunk, and inside of that drip line where the canopy ends. So we did all of those trees. Now we're going to do these cherries, those apples, the persimmon, some Tangela, some citrus, our mango, our lemon lime combo, and I'm gonna skip the avocados. I think those are just gonna get torn out and replaced on a raised bed because half of them are totally dead. gonna skip these dead avocados. What a disappointment, man. Out of all the things I really want to grow, it's like those are the ones. Now we're gonna feed these pomegranates. There's guava over there, and then we'll move down to some of the other stone fruit we got cooking. Okay, now you notice that we've got our dragon fruit in the container there. Anytime you've got a fruit in a container, you generally want half the amount of at least this fertilizer that you're putting in there. Because that fertilizer has nowhere to go, you don't want to burn your plant and overdo it. So you generally, if it's in a container, you want to go half of what the normal fruit tree amount is. So whether you've got a little small, kumquat tree in a container, or you've got blueberries, or you've got something like that dragon fruit, you want half the amount whenever one of your plants or trees is in a container. All right, we have this dragon fruit right here. Then we've got our the stone fruit. We have our picatum. We've got our, now we've got a cotton candy apium. We've got a flavor grenade pluot. We've got another pluot, emerald drop, and then we've got our Santa Rosa plum, and we've got our two plueries, sweet treat and candy heart. And then beyond that, we've got our pear. Lots of fertilizing going on here. All right, now we're gonna do this. We've got this crazy 4-in-1 pear. Boy, I need to come through and prune that, I forgot it. And then we've got these two plueries, which is a plum cherry hybrid. Look at this thing, it's starting to bud. Look at this, those buds are starting to burst. I can't wait to see what that thing does. It's alive, it's alive. And then we've got to get our boysenberries and blackberries here. And then end up with those blueberries in the buckets. So I'm gonna jump on that. Wow, so here's that 4-in-1 pear. Look how much cleaner that is. Made about 50 cuts on this overall. Now, this is an interesting thing that you want to look for in terms of your multi-planting, is you want to look for balance when you're pruning. This is just as an aside. I know I came out here and was feeding this earlier, but now I had to come back and prune it. Each of these branches is a different type of pear. And so what we want to do is those that are more vigorous, we want to bring under control and bring down some of the vigor, be a lot more aggressive on pruning. And like that little skinny branch up there, we're going to hardly prune at all. I just tipped the top of the things. I didn't really remove a lot of material from that one. So that's what you're looking for when you're pruning, is you want balance. Whether it be one tree, you want to walk around and make sure that all the limbs are balanced. Multi-planted or multi-budded tree, you want to make sure that there's balance as well. Wow, just in the nick of time. I'm out of fertilizer, I'm about out of battery. So appreciate you tuning in to this episode of The Busy Gardener on fertilizing. Hopefully you've seen some things, the way that I do stuff. Maybe you've got some ideas, chime in below. What are some of your thoughts on this whole thing? We're doing low nitrogen, high potassium, high phosphorus fertilizers, so that way we're supporting strong root growth, strong fruiting, but trying to limit the amount of that vigorous growth that our trees would otherwise have with a high nitrogen content fertilizer. And so whether you've got one tree in your orchard or 500, until next time, stay busy. What are you guys doing here? Are you planting trees? Yep. What kind of trees you got planting over here? That's probably a nectarine there. Hey Caleb, what do you have in your hand?
Tree.
What is it?
Tree.
What kind of tree is it?
Big one.
A pomegranate?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean, is it like a nectarine?
Yeah.
Can you say nectarine?
Nectarine.
Here, show me. Say nectarine. Look at me.
Nectarine.
Nectarine. Nectarine.
Nectarine.
Nectarine. Can you say peach?
Peach.
Can you say nectar plum?
Nectar plum.
You said it. Good job, kiddo.